What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Dairyland Drive podcast. I don't know if you can feel it in the air. Playoff weather is here. Playoff time is here. And it's exciting. I mean, I know it's been a frustrated end of the season. I think the Packers are the fourth team in NFL history to end the season on a 4-game losing streak, yet make the playoffs. So, we got champagne problems, I guess, in Green Bay. We're complaining about being the 7th seed, I guess. If that's our biggest gripe or one of our biggest gripes, we'll take it. But Collin, Mike, and Riley, the crew, we're going to give you a little primer and break down the kind of rubber match of the Packers and Bears. Wild card round at Soldier Field in Chicago. Winner would advance to the divisional round. But we will get to that in just a second. We were just talking a little bit before we started recording about this Vikings game. Mike, I know you didn't watch a ton of it. Riley, I don't know if you watched it start to finish. I sadly did. I mean, it was on in the background. I didn't really pay attention. I don't know why. I know Riley's got some takes from it. But I'll just kind of open it up. You're okay with basically, I guess, we'll just ask this question. Are you guys okay with just how the Packers approached it, just kind of waving the flag? They're okay with taking that loss and just kind of resetting, make sure they're healthy, kind of fresh slate for the wild card round, and just all focus on the Bears. Were you guys okay with that? I know Riley's got a little asterisk next to that of fully healthy. But what was just kind of your thoughts of how they approached that? And it's kind of a double-edged sword of, are they going to be healthy, well-rested? Yes, but also they have absolutely no momentum heading into the postseason. Like I said, 4 straight losses. I don't know what that means in the NFL with it being a week-by-week league, as we know. So maybe take that with a grain of salt. But I would have to assume momentum means a little bit in terms of offensive rhythm, and at least some of the defensive stuff. But how did you guys feel of how they handled that? Without really getting into the game, because the game was just an absolute shit show. I mean, there wasn't a ton of positive takeaways from it, but how did you like how LaFleur and them handled that going into the playoffs?
So I watched like a handful of plays. I didn't really watch the game. I just had it on as like background noise, so I really didn't pay attention to this game because it was so meaningless. I think Colin, I think you said beforehand they ran 6 passing plays all game on offense. Is that right?
Six a time. Yeah, 6. He got killed
Oh.
4 times. They tried like 10 times or 12 times. I think he took off twice, got fucking just annihilated 4 times. Clayton Tune did, and actually threw it 6 times.
Okay. So it kind of seems like for the most part they're just trying to get in and get out as fast as possible on offense. Which I guess, fine. Like, just try to get out of there as soon as you can, as healthy as you can, I guess. But again, talking a little bit beforehand, it sounds like some of the key players might have gotten a little dinged up in this one, and some people have some thoughts on that. So I'll I'll turn it over for that. 'Cause I really don't have too much to take away from this game.
Yeah, obviously I'm the one that's pissed off because, and like, well, Collin is too, I guess, because he was pretty vocal in our group chat about it, like during the game. Like my thing is, and like LaFleur said, like no, like every Packers fan will concede, like they went into that game, like the plan, like it was very, like they didn't try to win that game. They did not give a shit about winning that game. Oh, fine, that's fine. Like I was questioning last week, like I'm nervous about like Jordan Love hasn't played in 3 weeks. That's my only thing. But like we don't know. Like I can't say anything about that because like that game, the Bears game, hasn't happened yet to see if he's rusty or not. So I'm not even gonna bring that up. My thing was just like how they went about it playing. Like Bullard, like he's supposed to be fine, supposedly practice, whatever. But like he got dinged up knee. Like he's a stud. He's been a stud at slot for us all year. Jaden Reed goes in the game, and after Bo Melton gets hurt, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And like I just hated it because LaFleur's comments after the game and throughout the week, like people asking him like why we're in there. He just like it's like, well, Bull like Melton got hurt in both scenarios. So Jaden Reed had to go in offense, Bullard had to go in defense. Blah, blah. No, they didn't. Like we just said, They conceded they were not going to win that game. They weren't going to try to win that game. And in the same fucking comments after the game, people asked about Jordan Love, like, what were you going to do if Clayton Tune got hurt? He's like, oh, like Love wasn't going to attempt to pass. Okay, so like we just said, you're conceding you're not trying to win this football game. So no, like last time I checked, and they did half the time, like you can play defense without a nickel. No, motherfucker, Bullard does not have to be out there. You're playing zone anyways, a soft ass zone. Like it's very obvious. Like the other team has Justin Jefferson still. You're not going to play man, even if you fucking even in the main game plan, you weren't going to play man. It's like all around just stupidity. Like, why don't LaFleur stop acting like you fucking are the only person in the world, like no Packers fan understands like how football works. On the offensive side, like we just said, the passing attempts, he had like 12 actual drop backs, got killed 4 of them, scrambled 2 times, threw it actually 6 times. Again, not trying to win that fucking game. So no, Jaden Reed does not need to be out there. There's other personnel groups. We've spent plenty of time on this podcast bitching about how shitty the tight ends are. Just leave those dipshits out there. Jaden Reed does not. Like, what are we talking about? Like, Matt LaFleur, shut the fuck up. Stop talking to us like we're fucking dumbasses. I hate that. I hate him so much. I've been vocal, but I just no. The most ignorant, wrong thing. They did not. You do not have to match personnel and defense. Bullard does not. Leave your 3 linebackers out there, play zone. That's what you're fucking doing anyways. You don't care. The whole point of it is to get out healthy. Jaden Reed. No, it's just dumb. I fucking hated it. I was not gonna. It didn't piss me off until after the game when he just kept saying shit, and he would fucking basically make himself sound dumb in my opinion. He would say all this stuff like, "Oh, we're trying to match." Melton got hurt. And like I said, he's fucking 3 minutes later. Well, if Jordan Love had to go, and we actually just were not gonna, we were gonna act like we're a fucking 8th grade operation here and hand the ball off every time, anyways. Dude, you're conceding you're not trying to win. So you're a fucking idiot. So that's my thing. If he just would have not talked after the game, I wouldn't be mad right now. But just the fact that he went out of his way to fucking try to say something, and to me, he just made himself sound like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that was my big thing too. I don't even know why Jordan Love dressed. I know you can only have so many people on the active 53, and all of that of bringing people up and taking people down. But to me, it just made no sense. Why even have that option if he's not going to play? I guess I didn't understand that part of it. I got super nervous after the first couple sacks that Clayton Tune took, because like you said, they were from his blind side and he got buried. And I'm like, my goodness, this is all leading to Jordan Love having to go into the game. And then what the hell is going to happen? Luckily, Clayton Tune's a tough guy and stuck it out there. But yeah, I was just saying this before we recorded. He kind of got the tough end of the stick here. Of the game plan was not in his favor. He plays the most, pretty much most aggressive and blitz happy defensive coordinator in the league, who's very good. That's his debut with the Packers. Like you said, only really had 10 to 15 pass plays called, only throws 6 times, and then gets released after the game. And Desmond Ridder gets brought up to the active roster, and I'm assuming he'll be the emergency quarterback on Saturday. So Clayton Tune, I guess, thank you for getting us through the Vikings game. So sorry, that's kind of how it played out. We'll see what happens there. Positive things, and I was talking to Mike about this beforehand, and Riley was just getting on. To me, one of my positive takeaways, and it was very tough to have any positive takeaways. Barron Sorrell, I thought in his snaps looked good. Good in terms of I think it could be a piece if you give him some more reps. And I'm comparing this to fucking Rashawn Gary. I don't know. Even Collin Oliver, when he went in there, I thought he brought some speed and a different look. He got his ass kicked a couple times, and you could tell he's got to get some more reps. But those two got me a little bit of excited, at least. Maybe not the playoffs this year, but potentially looking at next year of some pieces on the other side of Micah Parsons. So that was one of my positive takeaways, was seeing some of those young edge rushers at least have a little bit of an impact and look like they can be pieces. I don't know if they're going to be stars, but again, we just need pieces if Micah Parsons gets healthy. But All right, well let's just throw that one away. Unless Mike, you have anything to add to that? I'm assuming probably not a whole lot. No, okay. Let's just regular season. We're crumbling it up. It is in the trash can. Who cares that this team lost 4 games in a row? Everyone is 0-0 now, and we get the rubber match with the Bears. I think this had to happen, right? The Packers won one at home. The Bears won one at home. It had to be decided, right? So I guess just overall, how do we feel with how the Bears have looked these last couple weeks? How I guess the Packers, we know how the Packers have looked the last couple of weeks because we've talked about it, but the Bears aren't exactly like playing great. They've lost 2 in a row, and they were an onside kick recovery away from losing 3 in a row and this being a completely different conversation. So a lot of people may be writing the Packers off, saying, "Oh, they're banged up. They don't have a shot. The Bears are potentially going to win this." Like, hey, the Bears aren't really playing fantastic football right now. Um, so just like initial thoughts, because we've seen this game twice now. How do we feel just in terms of confidence or just like overall here early in the week with still what four days till game day?
Feel like offensively we match up with them pretty well. I think our receivers and our passing game should be able to take advantage of their defense as long as we don't turn it over, because that's basically how the only success that Chicago's defense has is causing turnovers. Otherwise, they're really not that great.
They're ranked in the
Um,
20s. If you take like turnovers away and like put them like on average with the rest of the league, I think like statistically a lot of key stats they're
yeah.
like 23rd or 25th or something like that. So yeah.
Okay. And I'm not sure that their run defense is really any better. Um, Josh Jacobs hopefully will be a little bit healthier going forward now, having pretty much rested for 2 or 3 weeks straight now, getting very limited snaps. Um, I mean, I think the key is what we said basically since Micah went down is you got to get out to an early lead, and that's going to be the best. That's going to be your best defense is getting having a good offense. Um, on the defensive side, um, I think priority number one is you got to be willing to tackle, and you got to tackle those running backs. We saw how much of a problem that was against Derrick Henry in Baltimore, and I mean Chicago can run the ball if they really want to. It seems like Ben Johnson tried to get like kind of cute the two matchups against the Packers and didn't really commit to the run. Um, Key is going to be winning first and second down. I think if you can get Caleb in third and long and put them in disadvantageous situations, he can create and be dangerous. Don't get me wrong. Like he'll probably make some plays, but he can also be very erratic and wild and make some mistakes too. And the key is going to be he's going to give you at least one chance at an interception. You got to come down with the ball. That's like one of the biggest things that they have not done on defense is actually catch the ball when it's thrown at them. Um, so that's kind of what it is on defense for me. Special teams, just play clean, no huge mistakes. Like you don't have to be like otherworldly. Just be clean. That's all I'm asking for. The bar is so low. Like just play clean. That's all I'm asking.
You know this is 100% coming down to like a special teams play in some capacity. I don't know what it's going to be, but at some point in this game, it's going to be a huge momentum piece on one side of the ball of a special teams play. It just always is in playoffs. Like I can just see it coming. I hope for frickin' once we're on the right side of it, but I guess time will tell. But we'll see. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah, for me, like Mike kind of already said this. To me, it just comes into the run defense, and like if is Ben Johnson going to commit to the run because like that's obviously the Packers' defense's biggest weakness right now. Coming off that Ravens game, I think it's hard for anybody to argue that. But then like the Bears' pass game is all play action off of that run game. So like if like they tie together, like that's like Mike said, if you get him in third and long and you know Caleb's going to drop back, like he'll pick up a few here or there with his legs or making a crazy throw in the run. But if you can keep him in the pocket, like that's not his thing. So kind of like what Mike said as well. Hopefully X took off last week. Like he comes out, I think he's dropped what three interceptions from Caleb just this fucking year. Like drops would be if he was a receiver, it'd be considered like drops. Um, I have no fear of their defense. Their defense sucks. Like Zach Tom's coming back. Like pass blocking can be better. Like everybody's like, oh, the biggest Montez Sweat versus Zach Tom. Like, what do we? That's not a fucking thing. Zach Tom will stonewall why is Montez Sweat is not an elite pass rusher? Why is that a fucking state? I get Zach Tom hasn't played, but if he's healthy, like, come on, shut up, people. Josh Jacobs will be healthy, so hopefully they can use him in gash. Like I'm honestly like, I want Josh Jacobs to have 10 or 12 carries. I want them to run when like they have the Bears on their heels. I want Jordan Love to throw this fucker 45 times. I think the Bears pass defense is like, I gotta check the weather. So unless it's a complete like windy shit show and rain, like I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's supposed to like die down by then, maybe a little bit of breeze. It's Chicago, it's obviously windy, but like, yeah, I think this is a game that Jordan Love like literally could pass for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns if fucking Matt LaFleur decides to like not babysit him. If he just says fuck it, yeah, let's open it up and sling it. Like like Tucker Kraft is out with torn ACL. Like, yeah, I got that, but like if you guys go back and think, besides Tucker Kraft being out, like this is the healthiest the offense has been the entire fucking season, weapon wise, besides Tucker Kraft being gone. So to me, like just open it up. You have all the receiving threats. You have the best pass blocking. Like they're all healthy. Like this is the best you're gonna be. Like just fucking sling it. Like let's not fuck around and let it like Collin said. Let's not let it come down to it. Let's be aggressive. Let's go for the fucking kill shot like we did like Thanksgiving Day. How we played against the Lions. Let Jordan Love sling it. Go for it. Be aggressive. Let's try to end this shit ourselves. Not let it come down to special teams because as Packers fans, like Collin said, let's try to be on the right side. Like it's not going to happen. We're Packers fans. Like special teams are always going to fuck us. So like let's just not even let it even be a fucking thing. Let's let Jordan Love try to pass for 450 yards and fucking 4 or 5 touchdowns, and let's just jump on him right away and see if Caleb can actually match it. Because I don't think he can before he'll make his mistakes. That's what I want. So yeah, if we can stop their run game, that's my biggest worries. I don't know if we can. I'm not so sure. Like, and Ben Johnson can control the clock and wear down the defense and keep our offense off the field out of rhythm. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we can stop the run game. It's just probably if we can limit it. I think especially in the first half, because I think if the game's close, like within a one possession, Ben Johnson has shown in the second half that he's going to try to establish that and kind of get more run plays called. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of this comes down to Ben Johnson. Like, is he, if you want to call like patient enough, or will he actually stick to the run? Because like even their last game against Detroit, what did Caleb Williams throw it? Like 30, 35 times against Detroit? Like Ben Johnson just has an itch where he has to throw the ball at least 30 times a game. I don't know why, because it feels like their offensive line, especially those interior guys, are built to run the ball and they've had success, but he wants to huck it around a little bit. So I think that'll be a big thing of Ben Johnson's play calling, especially in that first half if the game is close, because I do think if it is close or Bears have the lead, like you're going to see a heavy dose of run in the second half. It might be tough for the Green Bay to stop. I think Packers offensively, big thing is, yes, the turnover battle is going to be huge because if Chicago doesn't turn you over, they're very susceptible, and I think in all levels. And I think it comes like red zone. I think both games, if the Packers would have finished some drives in the red zone, they would have had multiple score leads there in the second half and been able to put the Bears away and not been in those situations. But again, the Bears defense has been good in the red zone, and the Packers offense has struggled a little bit. So I think that's what's going to come down to is finishing drives with 6 and not 3. Because when Jordan Love has been in the game, and hell, even Malik Willis, like they moved the ball at will. Like both quarterbacks in the offense up and down the field, they just couldn't finish drives and put them away. So maybe a healthy Josh Jacobs will fix that if he is, or healthier Josh Jacobs in the red zone. And yeah, God forbid, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed as well. So those are some of my big ones. We'll see. I'm very intrigued because after this last game especially, and I'm sure you guys know Bear fans as well, and just kind of seeing all this stuff like fucking DJ Moore, Caleb Williams wearing the cheese grater. Like the Bears just pretty much treating it like this was their Super Bowl. They finally beat the big brother. Hell, rewind 3 weeks before there, 2 weeks before that, the Packers beating the Bears is just business as usual. I didn't see Jordan Love wearing fucking bear hat, or I don't know what the hell he would even wear, or being obnoxious about it. Like the players just kind of took it at business as usual, moved on to the next game. The Bears just went over the top. So I would want nothing more to get another chance here, and kind of shut just a lot of national media up, I think, and especially Bears fans. But yeah, I guess anything off of that, any other big keys or big things that you see in this one?
Yeah, just real quickly, we talked about the weather. Just remember the last time they played down in Chicago, a couple of those
When
passes down in the red zone that they tailed off, right? Um, I'm looking at the forecast for Chicago Saturday night. 30 degrees, so not like uncomfortably
terrible.
cold, but wind of 17 miles an hour and gusts up to 32. So be interesting to see what their
very
plan is down
very
in the red zone.
similar or somewhat similar conditions, I guess, maybe to that last game, maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
Speaking of weather, real quick, this is just completely random. I don't know how many Broncos games you guys have watched. Obviously, I in our household we have the Broncos on every single Sunday. This past Sunday game, it was 71 degrees in Denver. It has been either 60 or 70 from like October to January at every single one of their home games in Denver. Not a single snow on the ground. I've seen fans in short sleeves, like players in short sleeves. Has been nothing below like 60 this entire season at Mile High. Like if that doesn't like add up of all the things that have went well for them this year, worked out for them, like that's just one more thing of like I always like turn on like what the hell is the temperature there? Like fans are freaking wearing shorts in January at Mile High is just crazy to me. But okay, we're gonna get to a few more things before we get to Lambeau Lines. Matt LaFleur, how much does this game mean for him, or just at least maybe like the sense of direction for where the Packers are right now? Because they seem like they've been kind of treading water here the last few years, being the 7th seed. I mean, if you just really look at all the year, like the last 4 years, from basically the last year of Aaron Rodgers, where they were essentially playing to be the last team in, didn't get it, lost to the Lions, and then 3 straight years now of the 7 seed. How big of a game is this for Matt LaFleur to potentially shut up us, maybe shut up a lot of other doubters, or maybe national media, and just maybe like the sense of direction for the Packers of like to get over the next step? I mean, really, it's not even getting over the next step because a couple of years ago they won the wild card game in Dallas. But is this a big game, especially being against your biggest rival on the road, and how the season ended, or do you think none of that really matters? And basically, this is just let's focus on Bears Packers. Kind of just salvage maybe this season, of what's been a somewhat disappointing season, I would say. Do you think it means a little bit more just in terms of that and kind of getting over the hump, or maybe making a little bit run here, or do you think none of that matters going into this weekend, especially with Matt LaFleur?
As far as like the fan base, um, I think if they win, it's probably won't change too many people's minds on whether they should. Well, especially for the people who think you should be fired. Um, I think at minimum for that faction of the fan base, it has to be at least winning the NFC Championship. I would probably imagine. If they win and then lose in the divisional round, it'll be torches and pitchforks. Um, but in Ed Policy's eyes, I don't know. I think it's just a data point for him. I don't think it's like make or break of a decision in his mind based on this one game. I think he's going to look at the totality of the season of LaFleur's tenure. There's been discussions, I guess, about the power structure, with how him and Gutekunst report directly to policy right now. It could change from LaFleur reporting then to Goody after this year. I don't know. I have a feeling he's gonna get his extension. They're both gonna get their extensions. Um, but that's just kind of the vibes I've been getting and what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I think this game's the fans. I think it's big just because of like the stuff that I think the obvious is just like the sitting. Like Jordan Love hasn't played in 3 weeks, so if Jordan Love comes out and plays like shit, like that's directly going back on Matt LaFleur for like why did you not play him last week a little bit. I think that'll be a big thing. I mean, I get injuries, but like Jesus, like we said, they haven't fucking won a football game in over a month. Like it's been a month. Like this is Green Bay. Like we've like jokingly, we were joking, but it's very from the Packers fans that maybe aren't that knowledgeable. Like they still think Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love. Like that's what kind of fucking franchise situation we're in right now. Like this is like that's the shit that like we used to make fun of other franchises. Like what the fuck are you guys talking about? And we're actually like having to explain that like to, like my mom or my grandma like they're fucking like say that like 100% like fuck Jordan Love. They don't start Malik like so yeah, I think average Packers fans like there's gonna if it doesn't go good Saturday, it's gonna be bad because half of them fucking think Malik Willis should be starting. And they're gonna let him walk this offseason like they should, obviously, because he's gonna get paid and go play somewhere else. But like that's my point. Like, that's people have those viewpoints. So I think if he doesn't come out and the offense doesn't look good, that could be a situation. I think I've been more harsh on Halfley, especially I've been texting and Collin stuff like stats, like with how bad the defense has been since Parsons got hurt, which obviously, yeah, big deal. Parsons stud, top 3 defensive player in the league, but like once like it's still the same defense as last year, and they were a top 10 unit. And now they're like fucking ranked twice since Parsons got hurt. They're ranked like 27th in the NFL. Like I don't know. I just there's a lot of questions with this coaching staff right now, in my opinion. And policy wise, like Mike's, I don't fucking. He's like a robot. Like literally, I don't know what to read. Only thing I took out of it is like, he went pretty specific, like he liked how he did better in the division this year, but like he left out like we haven't done better in the playoffs. Like I think he left that out on purpose. So I think it depends on. I'm not saying like I want LaFleur to get fired. I keep saying that like I don't think it's realistic that he gets fired. Like Ed Policy is not. He seems very robotic where he's not going to waste money. I just like if they don't win a playoff game this year, they don't win a playoff game next year. Like he's just not going to resign him. Like he's not going to go in and fire him and have to like pay a buyout and pay a fired coach's contract. I think Goody and LaFleur have this postseason all next year, and if they don't get it, it's not any better. Like if we don't win the division next year or have the best division record at least, and like go farther in the playoffs, like he just will not rehire them. It'll kind of be like the McCarthy and Dallas last year situation where it's like he didn't get fired. They just like, yeah, we're just going to go a different way. So I think that's where it's at just because he just comes across to me as so robotic. Like it's still just analyzing. Like he does not know what he wants to do yet, but it's going to be, he seems like he has no emotion in anything at all. It's solely going to be like Mike said, a data point. That's perfect. I think like he's fully robotic. It's all like, all right, did you win or not? If you didn't, sorry. He seems like he has no human emotions. Like he just fucking says it. And like, that's what it is.
So you think he would let LaFleur go in as lame duck coach next year, even though he said he wouldn't, or he doesn't want it? I think is what he said at the beginning of the year.
I think if they don't get like the NFC Championship this year, he won't give him an extension. He'll just go in and say, I don't know yet. Like he hasn't proven to be any better. Which is like I don't see any way. Yeah, I don't think he has any way of getting fired though. Like that's my wish. I don't think it's actually realistic with how he sounded the last. He just seems like a guy who's like, I'm not going to waste this organization any money, so I'm not going to fire. He's not going to pay 2 coaches at the same time. You know what I mean? Like he's just not going to do that. So I think you just see him coach it out, and whether the outcome this year or next year, I think he's got to see a far enough playoff run, and they got to do well in the division again next year. I think those are his 2 main points.
Just quick question: if LaFleur were to get let go, either this year or next year, do you think he gets picked up very quickly, like a hot commodity, like maybe not as a head coach, but at least offensive staff on someone like very quickly? You both agree to that?
I mean, from what I've read, he seems like he's like thought of very highly in NFL circles, much more highly than it seems like a lot of Packer fans do.
Yeah.
So
Whoever the fuck pays Malik Willis this offseason should just go sign him. She fucking does insane shit with him.
Yeah. Well, I think that's always been my thing too. Is like, is Matt LaFleur like? If you just like dig deep down and like maybe like yes, have we been frustrated this year and maybe last year? Yes, but like if you look at his entire tenure with the Packers with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, has he been like in like industry standard or NFL standard a good head coach? Yeah, probably. Like I would say he's probably better than a lot of like other current head coaches or obviously the guys that just got fired. But I think isn't there something to a point where you can still be like a good coach, but then your time can just kind of come to an end at like one place. Like if you're just maybe stuck, like the Packers have been stuck these last 3 years of we thought we were going to.
Harbaugh just got fired today.
Exactly. Like,
that was Andy Reid in Philadelphia.
yeah. Like you just feel like we're at the same place as we were 3 or 2 years ago when we thought this team was going to take the next step after how we ended the season, how we showed up in the wild card. Like we thought, boom, like this young group is going to take off. We're excited. And now it just feels like we're in the same exact place almost as if that, maybe even a little worse. Just because I thought that season we were at least playing well at the end of the year and maybe kind of surprising ourselves and surprising national media. But now these last 2 years, it just kind of feels like very, very just like horizontal and not a ton of growth. So I think that's the said. Like, is LaFleur overall a good coach? Yeah. Is he the right coach for the Packers? I think that's probably the debate of, is he going to win this team a Super Bowl? Is he going to take them to the next step? I don't know. I think that's where I'm kind of at right now. I don't think so. Like I think having a breath of fresh air sometimes is a good thing. It just kind of seems. Who? I don't know. Like I figured you would probably give me. I'm sure you'd probably.
I can give a list of like 7 people I would want.
I would say like there's a couple teams like out of the NFC West I would look at guys if I'm looking. If it happens to go that way.
I think LaFleur is a great offensive mind and a good offensive coach. Like I've said, like we've said, like his team just does not play for him, and they don't have identity. Like you have no idea if they're going to play hard or not. That is literally your character as a fucking. That's what you like. That's what your head coach is like. That's what you do. If you can't get your team to play consistently, what are you doing? Second, there's no identity, which is why Harbaugh was at the Ravens for 18 years, and now they don't have an identity. They have fucking Lamar Jackson. They have Derrick Henry, but nobody knows what the fuck they are. And that's how I feel like we are with the Packers. We have Josh Jacobs, we have Jordan Love, but I have no idea what we are. And like the first time ever he's had a good defense, not getting any farther. So now all he has to do is lean back on his injuries, which is fine. I think he's a good coach, but I think he's like just so lost in like what they are. Because like Collin said this a million times this year. It's like now, like before we were like with Rodgers, and I guess it wasn't his full offense. I get that, but it's fucking football. Like, you can take stuff. Like they had a potent offense. Like fucking Rodgers won MVP with them. Like he is capable of calling explosive type stuff. Now all of a sudden, like Collin, like I said, Collin's joked about this 20 times this year. Like, I'm not so sure he's not fine with 18 play drives and kicking a field goal. Like, that makes no sense. It was not that long ago that we had, like, what the fuck are we talking? Like, what is he? Who is he? Is my thing. He's been so inconsistent through his 8 years and what the fuck he is. And it's okay. That's not who he was. He used Rodgers' offense, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you've never had a great defense. Like, so you've always had to score, and like he's like trying to play into it now and be somebody he's not, is what it seems like to me. And I just don't trust him. And like like the fact that the players like consistently don't play, like just going back last week, like against the Ravens, like the division's on the line. Like, guess what? The fucking Bears lost out. The Packers could have won the fucking division. What do we, and like, that's not even brought up, and it pisses me off because they just didn't fucking play. He did not have them ready to play. And they would have won out, they would have won the fucking North. Been like the 3 seed right now. But no, we're the fucking 7 seed, having to go, like, shit like that just pisses me off. And like, I don't know. I just think he gets away with a lot of shit too, and it pisses me off. Like, I just don't understand. Like, there's so many things. But offensively, when he just calls his shit and his like Thanksgiving, if he calls a game like Thanksgiving, yes, keep him. Like, the fucking players know he's like goes in, he's aggressive. Like, why? Like, where has that been the rest of the year? He's just so inconsistent. It's like he's like having identity crisis with who he is as a coach. Like, he can be good, but like, I just don't trust him at all. I don't know who the fuck he is. And like the players don't either. And it's obvious because they just don't play hard sometimes.
Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast too the other day, and someone, I forgot who was in the podcast, it was a guest, but I think they said it good how, like, the Packers aren't a tough team. Like, Matt LaFleur teams typically aren't tough teams. Do they have some tough players? Yes. But, like, overall, their identity, they're not a tough team. And I think that was kind of spot on just with how it's been these last few years, and specifically some of the games where we just got bullied. Our 2 losses in particular, the Panthers and the Ravens as well, just weren't a tough team. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I do think he's a good coach. I just know sometimes you can stay at a place too long and you just tread water and don't have any growth and just kind of just business as usual. And hey, if business as usual is the Packers being the 7 seed and making the playoffs, like, sure, like I said, champagne problems, I suppose, of other organizations are freaking 3 or 4 wins, I guess, and picking in the top 5. The Packers, it seems like hopefully the Packers floor is maybe a 7 seed. I just, at some point you want to see it take the next step. Like, it's just so frustrating where the Bears go from worst in the division, sign a new head coach. Yes, they made a lot of moves this offseason, but then jump to winning the North. Like, that's just frustrating to see because on paper, I think you guys would agree. On paper, the Packers have a better roster, I think, than the Bears, in my opinion, on paper. Of course, you still have to play the game, but in my opinion, on paper, even right now, I think the Packers overall have a better roster even with their injuries. And that's the frustrating thing to me is you can pick a handful of games that they lost this year. Like, yes, if things went the other way, they'd be hosting a playoff game right now. But again, for the 3rd straight year, we're the 7 seed. And it's super frustrating because I know Riley's not high on the Seahawks, but like, if we were to beat the Bears, I have 0% confidence that the Packers can beat the Seahawks, especially in Seattle. Like, I have absolutely no faith like that would happen. But again, don't want to, what's the chicken or count the chicken or eggs before I don't know what the saying is, but got to focus on the Bears first. But that's just what happens when you're the 7 seed. You're going to have to be on the road and you got to go play at tough places. So, all right, let's go to Lambeau Lines before we get going any further. So, Mike, it is over to you.
All right. Regular season's over. Who is the Packers regular season MVP?
I know, and you even told us this before the show, and I've been trying to think like super hard. I mean, as crazy as it might sound because he didn't play the whole season, like Christian Watson.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because like, where would this offense be without his return and like the level that he has played at and actually made this offense vertically and just like the downfield threat? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think the Packers make the playoffs if Christian Watson doesn't return and doesn't return to the level that he's at and like has stayed healthy, like, knock on wood. So, like, to me, if you're like thinking MVP and like who's been the most valuable to the Packers this year, like, I would have to think Christian Watson, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's 2 guys that even played half the year. It's Christian Watson on offense. It's Micah on defense. Like, that's the only 2 things. Like, it's just the only consistent like that to have made true differences.
All right. Former Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers back in the playoffs for the first times in 4 years. You want to see Aaron Rodgers win or lose in the playoffs?
I'd love to see him win, but I mean, we'll get to the predictions in a little bit. I I do not feel good with their matchup. I think they're playing like the hottest team in football right now, and the best defense in football. So I don't know, like a little bit magic. Like, 'cause I don't know. Do you think this is his last season,
I really have no idea.
or do you think
I can't get a read on the guy.
do you think this is going to kind of bring out his love of the game again and try to run it back one more time?
Probably.
The way he was fucking slinging it last week, I think he's coming back.
I would be okay if he won a game, but like I don't see it happening like whatsoever. Like I think that could be the most lopsided game, maybe besides Ram Panthers this weekend.
Yeah, I love Rodgers, so I want him to win a game, but at the same time, like I'm obviously a kind of a defensive guy. Like the Texans defense is fun to watch for me. So like I don't really know if I want them to lose and be out. Like I think that's a team that defense can just fucking take over anything. So football wise, no, I'd like to see the Texans win 'cause I think they're better. But yeah, Rodgers going on a run, I think would be fucking hilarious, and I'd love it.
I want him to lose. Hater. He's not a Packer anymore. All right. The last one. What is your most intriguing wild card matchup this weekend? And I can run through them really quickly if you want me to. Do you want me to?
No, I got him.
Go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Philly, San Fran, just because like I don't know what Philly is in offense. I don't think anybody does, but their defense is insane. But then the 49ers defense sucks, but their offense is insane, and they're coming off of a lame duck performance against Seahawks. I just don't really know what either team is right now. So it could be a blowout either way. It could be a close one either way. I actually have zero clue of what to expect from that game, but there's stars everywhere. And Sirianni to me he's fun. I think it's comical, like just how he acts. So like I think he's a dipshit, but it's still funny with how he acts. It's just funny. So I don't know. We'll see. And how Philly's crowd is too. Like if it starts to go bad, like it turns into a shit show real fast in Philly if shit starts to go bad. So that game to me has so many different ways they could go and outcomes and storylines. So that's the one I'm looking forward to.
I can't stand Nick Sirianni.
Well, who was it like article came out that something like Saquon before he got traded or signed with the Eagles that he couldn't stand him either. Like he absolutely hated him. I thought I saw something about that of Saquon before joining the Eagles couldn't stand him either. So
All he does is walk up and down the sideline, move his little mic up on his head, spit every 3 yards onto the ground. Doesn't do a
yell at
fucking
fans.
thing. Yeah. It's the most delusional level of confidence ever.
Yeah.
All right, Colin, most intriguing wildcard matchup.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna like just like all the games on the table, I would say Packers Bears to me. Like I think it's gonna be the best game. But outside of that, I'm probably most intrigued about the Bills and the Jaguars. There's no Pat Mahomes in the AFC, so the AFC does not go through the Chiefs this year. That has been kind of the thorn to Josh Allen's side, his career so far, at least in the postseason. So is this finally the year that the Bills make a run at it? Are they good enough to make a run? And then it's like, who are the Jaguars? Like we've seen them really good and we've seen them lay some eggs. They're playing really good football. I think at the end of the season, Trevor Lawrence is probably having the best year of his career. So like it's gonna be a really good quarterback battle. It's been kind of a fun story to see the Jaguars kind of come out of nowhere and like they were a couple scenarios away of potentially being the 1 seed. If the Patriots and the Broncos would have lost on Sunday, like they would have been the 1 seed, and who would have had that on their bingo card going into the season, or at least any point in the season. So I think it's going to be a really good game and really close. So I'm really intrigued to see what Bills team you get and what Jaguars team you get, because I think both of them have kind of been up and down at least in certain facets. So
you're obviously you're close to Broncos fans, like they're fucking diehard Jags fans this week, right? They want no part of Buffalo. Like Buffalo is the Broncos' kryptonite. Broncos can't run the ball, but they just try to throw it, and like that's what the Bills excel at. And Josh Allen is the one guy that can make this fucking Broncos defense die because they'll just run around. Like, so to me, if I'm a Broncos fan, which you know a couple, obviously a lot closer, like they need to be diehard Jaguar fans this week. They do not want to see Buffalo rolling up next week.
I'm gonna guess they're going to be fans of like all the divisional winners. I don't think they probably want to see the Texans either, right? I don't want to see the Texans like any like NFC or AFC. So
I think best case for them is they cheer for the Chargers to somehow upset the fucking the paid thing. The Chargers I don't think are great. Like they just can't block anybody without their two tackles. Like the Broncos will eat against them. But yeah, I don't know.
all right, there's our
All
intriguing
right,
games.
there you have it.
Cool. And we'll pick those in a little bit. All 6 games that will kind of reset. But before we get to that, we got to go to 3 and outs. 3 and outs. 3 and outs. Do you guys have your topics? I'm trying to think as I go here. So I will go on 3rd down. So we will start this week with you, Mike. What is our first down topic of this week on 3 and out?
College football, D3 national championship, the Stag Bowl.
Pretty cool.
Totally didn't even realize it was on, to be honest with you, until I saw like highlights afterward. But congratulations to UW River Falls taking down the Evil Empire in North Central, who's just dominated D3 the last like handful of years. Pretty remarkable turnaround from like 10 years ago. I think River Falls was winless, and their quarterback, Caleb Blaha, I think he is his name, broke the all-time NCAA record for total yards, just taking out Joe Burrow. So way to go to River Falls representing the WIAC too. So big ups to them.
Second down, I'll stay in the lower level football. I'll go to the FCS. Illinois State. I don't know if either of you guys saw that or watched that last night. Like, Cinderella run, but Brock's back, Illinois State's head coach, maybe one of the dumbest fucking humans of all time. Like, I think 3 of us could have rolled out there and probably done better on kick team than like PAT, field goal team, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, what the fuck am like? And then he just keeps trying to do it. He literally like it. It seemed like he placed a bet in Montana State and just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking throw this thing." That's literally what happened. Oh, yeah, Illinois State should have won that game, but good game overall. Exciting. One of the crazier things I saw happen, but geez Louise, I don't know how I've seen a head coach completely just deliberately make dumb fucking decisions over and over again with, I just don't get it. I don't understand what's happening.
What happened? I didn't see real quickly.
Well, basically they're a college, a Division I FCS out. They can't kick field goals or PATs. Like they basically fired their season-long kicker last year. So they have a kid that's kicking the first time in the semifinals and then now in the championship game. And like, if you watch it, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, imagine like a shitty high school setup. Like, remember when you were in high school and you went to a game and like some team at the end of the game is like trying to kick and it gets like, they kick it and it goes through, but it's like 7 or 8 yards over the crossbar only. Like, it just looks stupid. That's how this fucking guy kicks all the time. So it's 4th and 1 at like the 25-yard line with like a minute to go, and they have like 1 timeout left. He fucking sets up for a field goal, and the kicker, doesn't even know what he's doing. The fucking edge guy comes off and blocks it with like his leg. Like, he dove past it that far. Like, how slow it was because the kicker, like, it's like they've never practiced it before. Fucking terrible. After all the PATs the rest of the game, like, he made them, but they looked fucking awful. Like, none of them were more than 7 or 8 yards over the crossbar. Like, looked like all 3 of us could kick better than this fucking kid can. Like, that gets blocked. So goes to overtime. They score Illinois State. So yeah, let's just kick another. Let's try a PAT because we've been making those. Gets fucking blocked by a defensive lineman's elbow that didn't even jump. It was so low because the guy tried to rush it because he was too slow the time before. Now it's in his head. He tries to rush it. It gets about fucking 6 yards off the ground. A defensive lineman blocks it with his elbow. Like, literally 3 footballs. Like, I was like, what the fuck? And then they lose because Montana State scores a kicks field goal, a PAT, and actually makes it. So yeah, it was just fucking just an overall just epic. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is what dumb high school coaches do. Like, you just rolling kids out there to kick because you think you're supposed to, and like it's just a bad operation.
The old Illinois offensive coordinator actually was actually kind of fun to watch there in their little comeback there in the second half too. He was airing it out a little bit. So, all right, let's go to third down. I'm going to stay in college football as well, and this actually is going to go hand to hand with a comment from last week's episode from Sam. What are everyone's thoughts on the SEC?
Indiana.
Nope. What are everyone's thoughts on the SEC laying an egg essentially this bowl season? And my hot take answer, maybe it's not a hot take. I think this is how I truly feel: is I do not think the SEC is king anymore. I think the Big Ten is officially king of college football, and I think they're going to win their second straight national championship. I think it is going to be Indiana. So that is how I'm going to answer the question. Is I don't think the SEC is what it's maybe thought of before the Big Ten did this kind of whatever, adding new teams and everything. Obviously, Oregon has certainly helped with that, raise the level. But I think Big Ten's king right now. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts to answer that question are.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say NIL and conference expansion is definitely leveled the playing field for sure.
I would say Big Ten's definitely king, but like I don't really know if we can say the SEC is dead yet. Let's see what Ole Miss does against Miami here. If they go into the national championship, like we need to like like fucking. I don't care about Iowa beating fucking Vanderbilt. I don't know why people like that was a thing. Like people acting like Vanderbilt was actually good. It was a really mysterious thing all year. And then Illinois beating Tennessee, like Tennessee didn't fucking play anybody. Who cares? Like who in Illinois still had to take a last second field goal to beat it? Like that's not like that's honestly unimpressive. Like that's how Illinois is not good. So fuck, I don't know. Um,
Whole season's meaningless.
yeah, I think it all depends on how Ole Miss does against Miami here. If they can somehow, if Ole Miss can somehow put up points, like I think that just shuts up everything because Ohio State couldn't against this Miami defense. So if Ole Miss somehow figures out how to score, like that just shuts down the entire conversation, I think.
All right. There's our 3 and out for the week, all college football related, and we will see some semifinals this upcoming weekend and see how it turns out. But thank you, Sam, for commenting back-to-back episodes. I did not catch his
Sam.
the episode before. He basically said he was catching a train up north to his in-laws, I believe, and did not catch the Packers-Ravens game. So asked if he missed much, and I said you just basically saved yourself from wasting 3 hours of your life. So that was a good decision or how it worked out in your end. But thank you, Sam. Back-to-back comments on that. All right. It is that time of the show to wrap it up here with the final drive. And before we get to the playoff edition, we need to make 2 declarations or decisions here. One, are we declaring Riley the winner of the regular season and starting fresh? Or, Mike, are you still seeing blood in the water and want a continuation here for the next few weeks to try to get back on track? Where are we at on that? Go ahead.
I always smell blood in the water, but I'd be fine conceding the regular season championship. I think it's only fair.
Okay. And were we all under 500 this past week? I know I had a shit week. I only had two runs. So
Riley went 4-3,
Yeah.
so he finished 54, 40-1. I went 3-4, I think, but I went 3-4, finishing a game back at 53, 41-1. And Collin, you had a tough week, buddy, 2-5.
yeah,
He had 49, 45-1.
Yeah, some of my other sided picks did not help me. Of course, how stupid is it the Panthers lose to the Buccaneers and still make the playoffs? That kind of just pissed me off since I doubled up on them. But whatever, it is what it is. It was a tall task for me to get back to it, anyways. But all right, well, we are starting fresh this week, so we'll give a little golf clap to Riley for winning the regular season pick 'em there. Let's go to playoffs though. Wild card rounds, 6 games. We'll see. Interested to see if we have a lot of the same selections or if someone goes off the rails a little bit. But I don't know. Do you guys want to do double up upset lock or just keep it strictly 6 games or whatever it's on the schedule? I just wanted to go with that.
I just put it down as 6 games.
Okay, we'll go with 6 games. All right, I did them in order. We can do them in order, but I'll save the Packers and Bears to the end. So we'll go in order in terms of when they're going to be. But the first game of Wild Card Weekend, the mid-afternoon slot, the Rams and the Panthers. The Panthers below 500, like I said, lost and still got into the playoffs. The Rams still up there, I think, with the favorites. One of the favorites in the NFC. How do we see this one going, Mike?
I got the Rams in this one. I just think they're better than Carolina, and just for just to throw this out there, I think it's bullshit that the way that the NFL playoffs are seeded. Yeah, like if you win your division, get in, fine, but seed them by the record.
I agree. Riley,
I think winning your division is over 82, by the way. But anyway, that's a topic for another time.
They're clearly the better team, so that's what I'm going to go with. Panthers did beat them like a month ago, though, but that just makes me think Rams even more. There's no way the Panthers can beat the Rams twice in one season, so Rams big.
I'll say Rams as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just still salty about that whole situation, even though it had really no impact on the regular season standings and pick 'em. But Rams over Panthers, clean sweep. All right, we're going to jump ahead till Sunday. This was one of my most intriguing games of the week. The Jaguars hosting the Bills. I'll get us started since this was my most intriguing game. I have the Bills. Going on the road and getting this win. I don't know. My pick before this season even started was Bills and Rams. That was my Super Bowl pick. I think at some point Mike or one of us asked what our predictions were for the Super Bowl. I'm still standing pretty pat on that, at least for now. So I don't know. I know maybe some Broncos listeners aren't going to be thrilled to hear that, but I agree with Riley. Josh Allen in the playoffs, if Pat Mahomes is not in there with the Chiefs, could be a whole nother animal. So you're going to have to beat them. So I think the Bills take down the Jags.
Yeah, I think I don't like it, but I'm gonna say Bills as well because I don't like the Jaguars are good, but it's like I just don't know what they are. You just haven't seen it yet for me to pick them. I think they're actually overall a better team, but I just can't. I just don't trust them. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence, even though he's been going crazy. Probably maybe even playing better than Josh Allen this last month. But I'm just gonna go with the Bills until Josh Allen's the best player in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go with that until they lose.
I'm going the opposite way. I think Jaguars win this one. They're so hot right now. I don't know. I don't trust the Bills. I think they can be got. So give me the Jaguars.
Okay. All right, let's go to Riley's most intriguing game. Sunday mid-afternoon slot. Eagles hosting the 49ers. Riley, what's happening in this one?
Yeah, this one's tough to me. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go 49ers. I just like the 49ers offense. I don't think they play like complete shit 2 weeks in a row. Trent Williams will be back, obviously, best left tackle in football, or arguably one of them. I just think they can do too much and take advantage of what the Eagles' weakness is. And I don't trust the Eagles' offense at all. They've just shown me nothing all year to tell me they're going to outscore them. So I will go with the 49ers.
Mike?
I'm going with the Eagles. I don't like San Francisco's defense, so I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, I was back and forth on this one as well. I don't know. I cannot see the Eagles losing at home in the wild card rounds. I think there's something to say about flipping a switch in the postseason. This is a team that's won in the playoffs, a quarterback that's won in the playoffs. Like, yes, they've struggled at times mightily on offense, but I think their defense is playing pretty well right now. So I don't know. I just don't see it happening. So I have the Eagles over the 49ers in this one. Okay, let's go to the primetime game Sunday night. the 2 seed, the Patriots, taking on the 7 seed in the AFC, the Chargers. I will get us started. Although I went back and forth on this one as well. Patriots are unproven. They have been vulnerable at times. You don't know what you're going to get in Drake May in the postseason. But I don't know. I just think the Chargers. I trust the Patriots a little bit more than I trust the Chargers, if that makes sense. The Chargers are just so inconsistent to me. Like, they can be really good, but they've also laid some eggs this year. I know Justin Herbert's banged up as well. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, I think, with the Patriots offense against the Chargers defense and the different looks and stuff that they give. But I just think the Patriots are going to do just enough. I think they win this one at home in advance.
Yep, I took Patriots basically for the exact same reasons as you, Colin.
Yeah, same. 3 for 3. I'm going Patriots. I think Drake May is a fucking stud. I think he's been the best player consistently all year. So I think their offense has been holding some shit back, and they're going to start turning it on even more.
All right, and then the Monday night game, Texans, Steelers. Does Aaron Rodgers have any magic left to continue this run, which might be his last year or might not? We'll get you started, Mike. The Aaron Rodgers hater right now wants to see him lose, wants to see him eliminated. Does that happen?
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm taking the Texans. That defense is just way too good. Give me the Texans all day.
Riley.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of scenarios in my head and weaknesses that the Steelers can take advantage of, and I just, like Mike said, that defense is just too good. And historically, Rodgers has actually struggled the most with 4-3 defenses that can get crazy pressure with 4 guys because he's so smart. He knows he knows what you're doing against him. Blitzing is not good, mixing it whatever they play. Texans play pretty basic, do their jobs, get a crazy pass rush with 4, and that's always been Rodgers' weakness. So I don't see how he can overdo it with his lack of mobility, and obviously doesn't move like he used to, which is the only thing that could help him. So I'm going to go Texans.
Yeah, I just don't see a world either. I think this could be one of the things where the Steelers get down early and then Rodgers is going to have to start forcing it, get a couple turnovers. And I think the question is then going to be after this game, is that Aaron Rodgers' final game? Just because I think he's gonna struggle. I would not be surprised if it's a tough outing for him. Just what you mentioned, their edge rushers are so freaking good, and they just fly around. So this could be some tough sledding for him. So I'm gonna take the Texans over the Steelers as well, and give me a bonus as how many times during the broadcast over under that they mention is this Aaron Rodgers last game in the NFL? I'm gonna say 3.5. Over, way over.
I was gonna say 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, so
we'll keep
over.
We'll keep an eye on that, but I bet you it gets brought up quite often, especially if they're trailing in the second half there, fourth quarter. All right, that takes us to the final game.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that Buck and Aikman would say that much. They might leave it alone. It's an ABC game.
Yeah.
I might go under. If it was Tirico and Collinsworth, I'd probably go over.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going under.
So we got an under, we got an over. Okay. All right. We'll be interested I'm sure there's got to be a prop bet on that somewhere and some Vegas bar or something. I don't know. Okay. Takes us to Bears, Packers, the rubber match. Both teams have won at home. This one will be Saturday night on Prime Video. Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels. We'll start with you, Mike. Packers, Bears. I think you've picked each team. I'm pretty sure you picked each team, right? In both games. If I remember correctly.
Let me look here very quickly. I took the Bears.
Yep.
In that one, and I took the... I don't know. I think you're right.
Well, I think me and Riley have picked the Packers both times. I think you at least have taken the Bears once. But all right, well, that leads us to the third one. Who's going? Look at him. He's researching and seeing. Maybe it's going to change his decision.
Yeah, this is kind of pissing me off now that I can't find it. Oh yeah, I did take Packers first time. Okay. Yeah, I'm going Packers in this one. I just feel like they match up really well with Chicago, particularly with their offense going against Chicago's defense. Our defense does make me a little nervous, so does our special teams, but I don't know. I just feel like Packers win this one for some stupid reason. I don't have like a great feeling one way or the other, but give me the Packers.
Riley.
Yeah, I don't really have a feeling either way yet. Surprisingly, like I usually have a strong feeling. I'm just gonna go Packers. Like I said, I think they're gonna outscore him. I think LaFleur is gonna just unload everything here finally and just let Jordan Love just sling it, and that's what it's put it on him and try to get a lead and make Caleb Williams try to come back and do crazy shit. So no feeling, like I said, but gonna go Packers. I think like Collin brought us up. I got even on like now even without Micah, without Tucker Kraft. I think on paper, like I still think the Packers are just an overall better team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Packers as well. And I think this is gonna get into the 30s. Like I think both teams are going to look at like recent tape or at least recent games and come out like well prepared and hopefully a good offensive game plan. I think both defenses are going to be kind of in trouble. Like I don't know if it's going to be quite Bears 49ers a couple weeks ago where like every possession was a score, but I could see this being in the 30s, and maybe it comes down to which defense can force a turnover or which defense can maybe make a play in a key moment. I really like how the Packers offense, with all you mentioned earlier, all the playmakers besides Tucker Kraft are there. Like, let's use them. Let's just flood this Bears secondary and have a big Jordan Love game, and we'll see what the Packers do on defense. Like this is a huge opportunity, I think, for Jeff Hafley. If Jeff Hafley comes with a great game plan and for essentially the third time basically answers Ben Johnson or beats Ben Johnson, because I know the Packers lost the last game, but I thought Jeff Hafley had a very good game plan the last time that they played in Soldier Field. If he can do that for a third time, I think that's a big opportunity for him potentially to get his name in the head coaching ranks, which is already is, or maybe move it up at least a couple notches in the ladder. So I'm going to take the Packers as well. I think they win the rubber match because the Bears still suck, and I don't care if they won the division or not. I'm taking the Packers on the road.
How much playing time does Trayvon Diggs get, you think?
Who's gonna start?
I would not be sure.
For Carrington?
Valentine. Yeah, they basically said that today.
Yeah. Okay.
LaFleur basically said as long as he can like mentally handle it, like he's gonna which to me tells me like he's gonna start.
Gotcha.
Which I think it's the right call, at least. I mean, at least in my opinion. I know you guys were at least somewhat high on Valentine a few weeks ago. To be honest, I think
he does 95% of things right. He just doesn't ever finish a play. That's the problem.
Right, which has led to a touchdown and a long first down. But I mean, in all fairness, I think both him and Nixon suck. Like I think haven't they been statistically one of the worst corners or like the worst cornerback tandem, at least in the NFL, like the last I don't know how many weeks. So like I think it's worth a grain of salt too. Like I know Diggs has struggled quite a bit this year too, of like I think you mentioned, Mike, like having a perfect passer rating against him for the most part, but like does it really matter? Like I don't know if you can get any worse from what like Nixon and Valentine have played together. So I'm all for it if you can. Hell, maybe he fucking makes a play and gets an interception, actually catches it. Like he has been known for that, because Diggs had a season where how many picks did he have the one season before he was hurt? Like he had a high number. So
he have like 9 or something.
Yeah. So hell, maybe he can actually finish it off and finish that last 5% off and make a big interception. I guess we'll see. But all right, well that is our pick'em for the week, all 7 games. We will see how it unfolds, but all in all, I think it's going to be a very good football weekend with college football. And then like I said, I think there's a couple really good games that could go either way that we just kind of pick. So I'm very, very interested of how Saturday and Sunday go. So Real quick, before we get out of here, how are we watching the game Saturday? Are we gluing ourselves in our living room by ourselves? You having a little party, watching it with some people? How are we handling the playoffs?
I'll probably be at home. I typically like to stress out by myself. I mean, I'll go somewhere if someone asks me to, but I typically like watching game alone.
You, myself, and I.
Okay. All right. I think we're having a little playoff party potentially. I don't know. I was now the fact that it's prime time, being an old parent, I don't know how big the party will be. It might just be me, Hannah, and maybe Logan coming over. But yeah, we'll see. I love the prime time as like just the meaning of it and like as a fan, but like I'll be honest, getting older, I really wish it was like a noon or 3:30 game. But we'll see. It's still I think it's going to be in my opinion, I think it's going to be the best game of the weekend. I think it has like all the makings of being like the closest and best game of the weekend. So we'll see what happens. But all right, well, comment and let us know. Yes, go ahead.
Can we do a real quick pick 'em for the college football playoff?
Sure.
I don't know who you guys got going to the championship.
I'm gonna go Indiana and I'll go Indiana, Miami.
Riley?
Do you want us to who wins it or just who makes it?
Just who makes it right now. Once we get to the championship, we can.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the complete opposite. I'm gonna go Oregon, Ole Miss.
Okay. I'm taking Miami for sure. I've been going back and forth in the Indiana Oregon one. I think Oregon can put up a fight, but I think Indiana gets them. So I got Indiana Miami as well.
And Oregon, Indiana is that probably the battle of your probably top two picks in the draft, or at least top two quarterbacks being selected, at least in what I've seen in essentially every single mock draft.
Has Dante Moore said that he's going pro?
He hasn't announced it, but I think everything I've seen so far is he's been like number two, and on like draft boards in terms of like quarterbacks, and so this could be be a battle of the top two guys right here. So, okay. Well, I know one person. I know one listener to the show of they're going to be a heavy lean one way. But if you want to comment, let us know what you maybe think the most exciting wild card game will be this weekend. Or if you have any hot takes on college football playoff or just anything in general, keep throwing those comments down. But yeah, going to be excited. Let's fucking finally get back in the win column because, like Riley has mentioned, it has been a month since we have talked Packers victory. So what better time than wild card round to talk about that next week? But all right, well, that's all we got. Everyone enjoy your football weekends. Yeah, keep sharing the Dairyland Drive podcast. Keep giving us those 5-star reviews. And we'll keep delivering this just high quality expert analysis and content every single week that you enjoy listening to. But all right, as always, Collin, Mike, and Riley, thanks for sticking in there for an hour with the Dairyland Drive crew. We will see you next week's episode.
Go Pack, go.
And the Bears still suck.